head coach Tyson Helton. Coach, we'll open it up with a statement, and then we'll jump into questions.
Yeah, really excited about being back home and get to come home from homecoming and have a really good opponent that we're going to play in Louisiana Tech. Had a great game last week against Jacksonville State. It was a hard-fought game, and so this time of year you got to be playing your best football because we're about to hit a stretch where we're going to play some really good football teams. That starts with Louisiana Tech. They do a really good job, and we got to have a championship mentality about ourselves. So that work starts today. We'll get rolling, and with that said, questions.
What you're on record is being in favor of these early starts. Just kind of discuss that again. You know, obviously a change from what's been going on with you guys for a while.
We just, whatever the time is, that's what we do. That's when we play. We adjust to that. I like playing earlier in the day. I like waking up and get the game started and let's go. You're not having to sit around all day and wait. So for a coach, it's nice. Now, I can't speak for the players. I'm not sure how they like it, but for me, I would prefer playing earlier in the day.
You know, for you guys now, 5-0 in conference play, what do you think has really set you all apart in the sense that you're not having really challenges against the league?
I think we're playing good team football. We have yet to play our best game. I think this past game versus New Mexico State, there was a lot of things we could have done a lot better. And with 3 regular season games left to play, we need to play a lot better. And we need to fix some of the things that was some of the problems. You know, I think back, New Mexico State did a great job running the ball against us. You know, had a hard time with that. We didn't capitalize offensively in the run game like we needed to. We turned the ball over. All those things you don't want to do going down the stretch. So we got a lot of things we need to clean up, but we're in a good position right now, and this is where you want to be. But we're about to play a really, really good team, so we need to play our best football.
All those things that you got to clean up, but you still go on the road and leave with a 2-score victory. What's that kind of say about your team?
I think at the end of the day, when the plays needed to be made, we made them. We created 5 turnovers. Even though they were moving the ball, we were able to get the ball back. We were sputtering in the second half offensively, couldn't put some drives together, turned the ball over. All of a sudden, we hit a big shot on a big 3rd down, along the sidelines with KD. Next play we score. Come back the next series. We're in another 3rd and long. They played man coverage. We hit a fade ball to KD. Was a great throw by Caden. We score. So for all the things that's not going our way, we've been able to make up for it with big plays on both sides of the ball. And that's good to see because you're going to have to do that if you want to win.
Defensively, you forced 5 turnovers. Defense has been stout this season. They continue to improve. In your mind, where's the next step that they need to take to keep going up?
Well, I think last week was the first game where really, New Mexico State, they were moving the football. I mean, they were running the ball extremely well. They were down there in the red zone multiple times, and we were able to create the turnovers. We were a little banged up defensively, but everybody else is this time of year. We need to get some of those players back. Upton Stout wasn't able to go this past week. Kylan Guidry wasn't able to go this past week. Need to try to get those guys back. I think we will. I think they'll be healthy this week. So, like I said, we haven't played our best team football yet, and defensively we're going to be tested. They got good skill players, and quarterback's a quality player. They got good runners. They're an explosive offense at times. They've lost 2 overtime games, and they've lost a couple games. Man, they're right there. I'd look back to earlier in the season versus NC State. It was a very, very close game, and NC State was able to pull away, late. And so we've got to do everything right if we want to go win this game.
All right, this is a team that really looks like it's better than its record, just based on the raw numbers. I mean, they're first in the league in defense, too, in scoring defense, I think in rush defense. So really a pretty good test for you guys.
Yeah, defensively, they're one of the best in the league. You know, they're right there, and they don't give up a lot of points. And they've had some games where, you know, some people had their number, but for the most part, they're kind of like our defense. They make it tough on you offensively. So we got to find those explosive plays. We got to have a good, strong run game. We got to take care of the football. You know, do everything right offensively that helps you win.
Tyson, I'm sure you're not surprised by Caden's improvement, you know, and how he's kind of come into this new role. Has anything changed as far as TJ? I mean, I know Caden's a team player, so is TJ. Just from your perspective, you know, where are y'all going now?
Yeah, you know, TJ made it back last week. That was his first week back in practice. He suited for the game. He was available if we needed him. He is in a backup role right now. I've been very impressed with TJ, though, in the role that he's playing. I always talk about master your role. And he like, even on the sidelines during the game, I'm watching him talk to Caden and telling Caden what he sees from the sidelines. So that's extremely beneficial because it's one thing to have a coach talk to you, but when your buddy and the guy that you're in the room with and speaks the same language that you speak, he's your eyes, you know, from another perspective. You know, TJ did a really good job of that, and it says a lot about who he is, you know, and what he's willing to do to help this football team, and all our guys are that way, to be quite honest with you. So we're glad to have him back, and he's available if we need him, and you know, he's just trying to help the team any way he can.
The decision to keep him in the backup role due to, you know, his health, or just the team, you know, rolling right now?
Say it one more time.
The decision for TJ to be the backup is due to, you know, him still getting back in, or with the team, or is it because the team is rolling right now?
No, I think Caden has shown that, you know, he is deserving to remain the starter, you know, and obviously we've won a lot of games with him, and you know, nothing ever stays the same, you know, and every day you're building your resume, every day you're competing, and it doesn't matter if you're the starter, you're the backup, but he's deserving to be in that role, and so you know, really at the end of the day, you know, I'm just glad we got two quality quarterbacks, you know, and I've really been impressed in that room and how those quarterbacks have worked well together. We got some, and I haven't talked about the other guys, you know. Turner Helton's available. He's a quality player. You got Rodney's available. He's a young up-and-coming player. Tucker's available. He's a young up-and-coming player. So I've been very impressed with that room. But Caden has been a very quiet, calm, confident player. His best football is still way ahead of him. He had two turnovers last week that he shouldn't have had. We don't need to have that this week, and he'll work hard to correct those things.
Tyson, along the same lines, how do you like the way you guys handle success? I guess you haven't lost since September, unbeaten conference. Do you see that element, you know, with this team?
Every week, you know, no, I really don't think a lot about it. You know, every week's,
Context?
yeah, every week's a new challenge. You know, I personally, I'm not speaking for our team or our coaches. I like embracing the underdog mentality. I like embracing a blue-collar mentality. I'm always trying to find something to get mad about, to be quite honest with you, something that's not right, something that's not fair, something us against the world, you know. I seem to do better with that. We all have our own ways of getting ready for the game, so I don't focus on what we've done in the past. I focus on what the task at hand is, and I try not to talk to my team much about, you know, the future and what could happen and all those things, because everybody understands that. Everybody's smart. I like to focus on what we need to do to go win this game, and, you know, that seems to work well with us.
You guys hit another trick play with Dalvin this past week. Yeah, I think that's his 4th career touchdown pass. At this point, do you think you're making opposing teams kind of have a chapter on stopping Dalvin Smith doing that?
Certainly you got to account for his ability, and you know, I like the fact that, you know, obviously he's a quality thrower. So it does apply pressure to a defense that you have to account for any time the ball is spit out there on the perimeter that there's a chance it might be a double pass. So that helps in that regard. But, every defense is different, and you're trying to take advantage of what the defense is giving you. So you have to get creative in, all right, what are these special plays? What are the explosive plays we're trying to get? It just so happened last week, they were really aggressive on the perimeter, and trying to stop the perimeter screens. And so we felt like we could use Dalvin in that way, and it worked in our favor.
Right, I was gonna kind of follow up with that. We've seen it multiple times this season. Usually in the past, it's been in like a big game or a bowl game where Dalvin will pass the ball. You decide you're gonna do that play based off the defensive looking at what they give you, or when you decide like, hey, let's go out there and do this.
Yeah, just again, when you evaluate them during the week, and if they're an aggressive group and you think you have an opportunity to take advantage of that. But every week you're trying to create something new and take advantage of a new opportunity. And so it just so happened last week that we felt like, hey, Dalvin has an opportunity to do a double pass here, and it worked out well.
When you look at Wildcat, they've been in a bunch of one-score games this season that come down to Rice Gate, especially these past few weeks. What have you seen from them to why they've been able to stay in these games so long, and how do you all counteract that to get it in?
Well, first and foremost, they're a quality football team. I think we're two evenly matched football teams. We've been able to put it together and be on the winning side, and they've had some quality opponents that they have played, and for whatever reason, it didn't go their way. I think back to Jacksonville State last week. That was a tough one. They did everything right. They were in a good position, and quarterback throws the ball down there, and they got lucky and caught it. And so at the end of the day, they're right there. I mean, they are right there, and they have an opportunity, and they have goals that they're trying to attain. And, I have tremendous respect for this group we're about to play. We are no better than this team we're about to play. It's two evenly matched football teams that are about to play, which I like. You want to have these kind of games in November. And so we got to have a championship mentality. We got to have our jaw set, and we got to go out there and play our best football.
I wanted to ask you about a player on their roster that you should be pretty familiar with, Jimmy Holiday. They're using him kind of in an unusual role, it seems like. I think he's second on the team in receiving and rushing. Just from what you've seen of film, what's he doing differently with them?
No, I think, really happy for Jimmy. Jimmy's a great guy. Really happy that he's having the success that he's having. I think they've done a good job of utilizing him in different ways, like we were just talking about Dalvin and how we utilize him. And so they've done a nice job of that, and so we'll have to account for those things. But very proud of him and what he's been able to do this season. You always hope, if somebody leaves you always hope the best for that person. And so it's really, really good that he's having the success that he's having.
Coach, I know you've talked about how this team coming into these last few games, what you do in November, they'll remember. Can you kind of talk about how important this month is and how each game is important for this program?
Yeah, this is where you want to be this time of year. This is every week is a big game. It makes for good football. It makes, I need our fans to show up and show out. I know it's an early game, 11 o'clock kick and all that, but we need to have a great atmosphere out there. But these are the games you want to be in, and this is what makes college football great and exciting. And so our guys will be excited. I'm excited, ready for this last stretch, and we'll see what happens.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.